Hello, good to see you all again.
We were just talking about, and we think we're in our 12th year on this show, so we've had a lot of fun. We've had some pretty exciting interviews. We were just laughing about some of the things we've done over the years, but it's been a lot of fun, and we really enjoy bringing you news around Milpitas and around Santa Clara County and the Bay Area.
Exactly, yeah. Well, yeah, Milpitas has got the influence here of this region.
Absolutely.
And so-
And you know, Todd, folks can watch us on Channel 26, Comcast.
Right.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m.
Set your DVR.
Yes, set it. Don't want to miss it. So you brought a guest.
I did. I'd like to welcome today Scott Bishop.
Thank you so much.
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Thank you.
Scott is one of the principals of Bishop Clancy Commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talk about real estate, and commercial is a big influence here in Milpitas, but
Yes.
also throughout the region. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get a little bit of an update on what's happening in the commercial real estate arena. So
Yeah.
welcome, Scott.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a very exciting time. Our Bay Area continues to grow and get bigger, and Milpitas has lots of fantastic changes going along here too with the BART station and all sorts of stuff like that, which will bring more and more business here, I believe.
Absolutely. So we'd like to begin the show, start off, tell us a little bit about yourself,
Sure.
maybe where you grew up, where you were educated, and what brought you to the area.
Yeah, I am a local guy. I was born and raised in San Jose, actually Saratoga. My dad and grandfather owned a sole business. It's called Bishop and Bishop, Hard Money Loans. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And my dad's still doing it today at the age of 70. And he started in the, I think, late 60s. Anyways, so I kind of grew up in a lending office my whole life. And then as time went on, I really liked working with more different types of businesses. I found it interesting. And I think my outlier moment, if you will, is I had a friend in college, and his father, I had my real estate license pretty early, I believe 19 years old, and he had some space that he needed leased out for his job. So I was able to lease that out for him, and I really liked it, and then people kept coming in, and
Okay?
yeah.
Okay?
All right. So your focus really is on commercial, and you talked about this early start with leasing.
Yeah.
What is it that really got your attention about commercial and said, this is where I need to focus my attention?
I think it was just I really liked working with different types of businesses. And I think residential, you work with buyers or you work with people trying to sell their homes.
Correct.
Where commercial is, it's so interesting to me because you can be working with a dentist, you can be working with somebody wanting to open a restaurant, or somebody wanting to open a warehouse or a software company. And you see different trends and stuff. I just always really liked that, working with the newest things and all different types of businesses.
Sounds like there's a lot of moving parts to that, too. So let's talk about Bishop Clancy Commercial.
Yeah.
How long have they been in business? And tell us about the
We
business
have,
model.
I'm proud, we started open in 2005. Me and my best friend, David Clancy, we met each other at high school. And we worked for 2 years at another firm and decided, someone gave me some really good advice early on to take a chance when you're young, before you have a mortgage, before you have kids. And so we opened up in 2005, focusing on great customer service, trying to give sellers and buyers white glove service and listen to them and get them exactly what they want.
Okay. Well, tell us about the team there. Is it just the two of you, or do you have more than just the two of you there as part of your team?
So right now there's myself and David Clancy, and we also have Stephen Tao, who joined us about
And
2 years.
he's a local person.
He is, yes.
He's serves on our planning commission, actually.
He is
Milpitas.
great guy, knows Milpitas very well,
Yes.
been very helpful to me, so we love him. And then we have a younger guy, Jacob Sanchez, who joined us about 6 months ago, and he's been great to work with as well. So right now, just the four of us.
Terrific.
Okay, so white glove treatment, you mentioned. So what makes
Yeah.
your company really different from in the real estate industry? There's so much competition. So what makes it different?
Absolutely. I would say, I don't know if the viewers at home have tried to find a commercial space for their business. A lot of times, brokers don't listen to exactly what they want. And we actually will listen to you and work with you to find your space. And it sounds very simple, but we're in business because a lot of the bigger firms really can't connect with those type of clients and find
Okay.
them exactly what they need.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
All right, good. So what you talked originally about, you're starting out with leasing. When you're working with someone on a lease, is it different when you're working with someone who's a landlord trying to lease a space versus someone who's trying to find a space?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you are representing a owner of a building, somebody that was looking for a good tenant, it's your job then to market that space and get the best tenant available and get the best price available for your client.
Right.
Versus when you are trying to talk to a business to find a space, you really have to talk to them, what is the best space for you? Do you need a premier business address, or are you more online? Maybe you don't need a address, you just need a place to do your business, power. There's lots of stuff that goes into it when searching for that.
Okay.
Okay. So, other services, I picked this on your website.
Sure.
Tenant representation. Let's talk about that.
Well, that is if you guys wanted to open up let's say, an office somewhere, and that would be me working with you guys to lease a space. What building do you want to be in? Is there certain other companies you want to be next to?
Okay.
That kind of situation. Finding the best
I would
space for you.
imagine that's in pretty high demand right now.
Yeah, it depends what it is. Right now, we have lots of manufacturing and industrial space in demand. Where office space, I'm seeing it's a little bit softer right now. Definitely
Okay.
can find some office space. Yeah.
Okay. And then on the listing, we talked a little bit about that. What about property management?
We do a little bit of property management for select clients. I manage a building, for example, in El Dorado Hills. I'm happy to do that. So, for select clients that are out of the state, we do that. It's not a big focus of our business, but we do it for select
Oh,
clients.
you might be able to grow into that too, maybe have a.
Absolutely.
that does that.
It's something
I can
we've talked
see a need.
about.
I think if I was a owner of a building, I certainly wouldn't want my tenants to know who I was. You want that.
You want the
that-
buffer?
That buffer.
Yeah,
that
you don't
line of
wanna-
defense.
Yeah.
Well, property management, I imagine there are different types of properties you can manage as well, from multi-unit residential to a strip mall to manufacturing facilities.
Yep.
So are there differences in how you might approach that depending upon the type
Good
of
question.
property?
Yeah, I think so. I think that if you're managing industrial property, you have to have the right contacts and contractors that can replace a huge HVAC on the roof, or know different services that attend to industrial building. Whereas if you're doing a multifamily apartment building, you're going to need to know different contacts that can replace the locks often, or pull up the carpet, or fix a broken sink. So there's different type of skill sets you need to know for different types of property.
Okay, good.
Scott, so I picked up on the web, owner user purchasing. What is that?
Well, that is if you wanted to purchase a building for your business and use it.
Use it, okay.
Okay, so that's what we call owner user, because you're going to use the property after
Okay.
you purchased it, versus an investment buy, where some people would buy like that apartment complex and just use it for an investment purpose.
Okay.
Right.
And, all right, so depending upon what the intended use of that property is, really dictates how you look at that.
Right. We want to work with the client, find out exactly what they want. For example, I work with a lot of dentists and medical, and I really believe they should buy their property because they're putting so much money into the tenant improvements that after putting $300,000-$400,000 for a brand new dental office, after 5 years, your lease comes up, the owner really has a big advantage on you, right? Because you're kind of married to the property.
Right, so that leads, you actually segue right into the question. So discuss retail, medical, and then industrial spaces and how they differ. So probably tenant improvements, like you said?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if we have time to go on this, but for example, medical properties, you need a lot of different plumbing and different uses like that for
Okay.
laboratories, right? Retail use, you probably are looking for better frontage. Maybe you want the window line done or some kind of signage outside to draw people into it. Industrial space, a lot of times you need more power brought into the space. Maybe you want the foundation, reinforced, or a big roll-up door put in, perhaps a loading dock put in. So those are some of the things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking a little bit about tenant improvements, right? Is there, are there trends with that in terms
Yeah.
of who's responsible for that? Is the tenant responsible for that? Is the landlord responsible? I mean, how do those sort of trends track?
Oh, it's a great question. It all comes down to the market. So, for example, after the dot-com crash, when I started, there was tons of office space out there. Owners were doing anything they could to make a deal. So they were building your space out for you, giving you that TI money to help do that. So right now, depending on what the property is, I'd say you can definitely get a lot of tenant improvement money in office space right now, maybe less so on industrial space.
Okay, very good.
So what do you see are the biggest challenges you have right now, commercial real estate?
Some of the biggest challenges right now is we have a lot of industrial owner users that are looking to buy or lease, and it's finding that type of property. It's hard to
Because it
find.
needs to be zoned.
Well, it needs to be zoned, and we have a lot of cities. I'm not going to name which cities, but we're getting rid of our manufacturing space, and we're building high-density residential space.
Exactly.
So we have a need for it, and the stuff that we do have, we're getting rid of it. So,
So all right, that sounds like
Right.
I can
That's a
see
big
that.
dilemma.
When you drive around the valley, you see a lot of that redevelopment of what had where you saw maybe automotive repair shops, or
Right.
storage, or other uses that are being now converted. How is that impacting the market?
I think it's impacting it greatly for, we're getting rid of a lot of the commercial real estate space. So the stuff that does remain is becoming more valuable.
Okay.
You have people, that have been in the same space for a long time and they want to stay there, but now they might have a machine shop next to an apartment building. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
good.
All right, so maybe one of the last questions I have, other than being able to work with your high school buddy, what rewards do you get from your career?
Oh, I love it. I love, like I said, just someone that has a need and then searching for them and going into a space that's in complete shell and then seeing after the contractors and everybody come in, seeing it bloom to this finished product and people coming in. It's just so cool seeing it from beginning to the end. I still get a kick out of that.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's say you look in the crystal ball and you're looking down the road, 10 years, 15 years. What do you see as kind of your goals with that?
I think I'd like to continue to grow the business, maybe 2 or 3 more people. I don't really want to get giant. I think you can only effectively manage 7 to 8 people, and I think it's very hands-on that we do it the Bishop Clancy commercial way.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that we still focus on the clients, client-driven, and continue doing what we do.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. Let's say folks have questions about commercial real estate or the market in general. How might they get in touch with you?
You can give me a call at 408-206-8877 or email me at sbishop@bccre or check us out on our website, and that's www.bccre.com.
Awesome.
Perfect. Great. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks you guys so much.
Yeah,
It's fun.
this is
Appreciate
good.
having you
Pleasure.
on today.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Valley Homes on TV. I'm with Todd Flesner, Debbie and DeHart Giordano, and we're going to do a little market wrap-up. Like we like to talk about what's going on with the real estate industry, the mortgage industry, and kind of the local economy, too.
Yeah,
So-
always something interesting happening.
We've had a lot going on in the news. The stock market's still a little roller coaster, but
Stock's a roller coaster, and folks always want to know what's going on with the real estate market. It's always a hot topic.
Hot topic.
And
so real quick. So I got to read you
Yes.
some headlines. San Jose Mercury
That's
News.
what I was gonna ask you
I like to share, and I won't go into detail, but the headlines will speak of themselves.
Yes.
So here's the last 30 days. Home sales continue to retreat.
okay,
Residents bailing on Bay Area. New home sales fall off a cliff. Housing market cooler, but still hot.
Okay.
And you said you put 3 deals in this week.
This
so
week, yes.
Bay Area employment on a roll, so we know we got lots of people still coming into the valley. Bay Area real estate, still a good buy. I love that. That was just September 23rd, just a few days ago.
Okay.
So they're speaking of investors that are coming back into the market, that the long-term investment in here in this Bay Area is still terrific. Don't
Well,
you agree?
Yeah, I do. I mean, demand, supply and demand is a key ingredient to anything, right? Supporting the price. And this is a place that's always in demand for people to live. I mean, jobs are plentiful, great jobs with high pay, great weather. I mean, who wouldn't want to work and live here, right?
Exactly. And I think with the fallen interest rates and become, I would say that you're finding maybe more buyers are able to lock in and get their foot in the door and get going.
Well, I think that's a part of it, and as I think our statistics will point out here as well, we've seen prices moderate over the last year.
Correct.
And so, there's still, for the right properties, for hot properties, there's still competition for them, but it's not the white-hot market that we had a year ago.
Correct.
A little bit more balanced.
Correct, yeah.
And so for a lot of folks, they feel like it's a great opportunity for them to be able to get in now. And that's what I'm
Absolutely.
seeing.
Okay. Were your buyers, did they do condos or did they buy single family?
A little bit of both. You got a move-up buyer, condo first-time home buyer, and another single-family home for first-time home buyer. So, a little bit of everything.
Okay. And I shared with you, even at this time, we're looking at October, and I've got 4 listings. So there's a lot, I think some inventories coming in. Buyers are going to have more choices to pick from and can be a little bit selective if they find, just like you said, the right
Right.
property.
It was interesting. Traditionally we'll see after the summer, after Labor Day, it'll slow down a little bit, and I saw the opposite this year.
Exactly. Same here.
Okay.
Okay, how about pricing? You want
Yeah,
to
let's-
share with
yeah,
you?
let's
So
take
I
a look at
just
the
have
trends.
August. Obviously, I don't have September pricing, but we're looking August 2018, a year ago. Average single-family detached home in Milpitas, 1,199,000. And last month in August 2019, it's 1,129,000. So not too far off the mark.
Okay.
Condo in 2018 was 956,000, and that has now dropped to 849,000.
Okay.
So, and again, I think because we're higher on the supply side
Mm-hmm.
in Milpitas. We've
Yes.
built a lot of condos. There's more condo market for buyers to pick from, but
Right.
not the single-family detached home. We're not building any more of those anymore. So if you
Right.
own a single-family home, you have a little piece of gold in this valley.
I think you're right. I mean, and folks can tell that just driving around when you look at construction sites and what's being built. Right? It's 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 not it's attached homes, either condos or townhome style.
And you know what, Todd? BART's going to be coming in real soon. They said within the next month, I think, November.
Okay.
So if that's still on track, I'd love to see how that's going to affect Milpitas home values, and I think it's going to be a positive.
One would think that that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Makes access to the rest of the bay even easier than it already is. I mean, we're a central hub here in terms of transportation.
We are, and that's what makes Milpitas special, I think, in terms of
Mhm.
location, right?
Absolutely.
So what, real quick before we close up, how about interest rates? Where are they at today?
Interest rates are fantastic. Historically, we're in the high 3s to 4% range,
Okay.
depending upon the type of loan that you're looking at. So up a little bit in the last 2 weeks over where we had been, and that was on the heels of the last Federal Reserve meeting where they cut short-term interest rates. And
By a quarter of a
by
per-
quarter
percent.
percent, yeah. And this is not an unusual phenomenon that we'll see, where we'll see longer-term rates, mortgages go up a little bit
Yeah.
after a
Right.
Fed
We
rate
talked
cut.
about that earlier on the
Yes.
show on why that happens, but you're expecting maybe the Feds to cut one more time before the end of the year.
That's what we're looking at. Is the odds are that we'll see another interest rate cut here yet in 2019 before year end, and so the long-term rates are going to follow the overall economy. If we start to see the economy slowing down, interest rates are going to come down as well. But the Fed's action really is to try to sustain the economic activity that we have so that we don't stall in terms of the economy.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Trying to be a little bit more proactive perhaps than what they've been in other market cycles. Historically, what we'll find is the Fed actually will lag where the economy is, right? They don't react as quickly. They're not, out in front of that. And, our president, love him or hate him, has been on the Federal Reserve because of that track record and kind of prodding them along to take a look more closely at, let's not let the economy fall into a recession.
Okay, good. Well, we'll take a check on that in the next 30 days after we do another wrap-up. We'll see where everything's at. So, your contact information?
Yeah, if folks want to get a hold of me, 408-921-0669. That'll ring right in my pocket on my cell phone.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And I can be reached at 408-945-8988. Thank you very much for watching again, and we're falling into fall, so hopefully we'll have some nice weather here, and we'll get back to folks in a couple weeks. Got some good guests coming up,
We
don't we?
certainly do.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.